But none of those domestic problems that I just described, and I could continue with others, as I know you could too, Mr. President, is hurting the American people as much as President Biden's inflation. Not a single one. President Biden's inflation is gutting the American people like a fish. It is a cancer on the American dream. In my state alone, in Louisiana, we're not a wealthy state. My people are pretty middle class. They get up every day, they go to work, they obey the law. They try to do the right thing by their kids, try to save a little for retirement. The median household income for a family of four in my state's $55,000 a year. A lot of states are above us, some are below us. President Biden's inflation, which is man-made, and that man's name is Joe Biden, is costing my people, the average Louisiana family, $806, not a year, a month. $806 a month. That's $9,700 a year. Now imagine if you were making $55,000 a year and you've got to come out of pocket with an extra $9,700 a year. You blow through your savings. You max out your credit card. You borrow from your children's college education plan. You borrow from relatives. And then what do you do? Now, I know what some of my colleagues are thinking, but Kennedy, we're doing better on inflation. And we are. And I am so thankful. A year ago, inflation in this country was 8.2%. Today it's 3.7%, and I am so happy. And I hope it continues to go down. But it is important for us to remember what that means. A reduction of inflation from 8.2% to 3.7%, which is still, of course, too high, just means that inflation is rising less rapidly. We still have inflation. Prices are still high. They're just not going, and they continue to go up. They're just not going up as quickly as they were. Now, that's a good thing, but it doesn't solve the problem. That's what we call disinflation. When inflation is rising and we stop it from rising so quickly, that's called disinflation. But that's not what most Americans care about, though that's important to them. What they care about is the prices going down, and that's de-inflation. And we do not have de-inflation. The point I'm trying to make is we're stuck with these high prices. If they get inflation down to zero, those high prices are not going down. They're going to remain the same, Mr. President. They're just not going to rise.
Good afternoon, friends. You need to watch out for this. A new list of states are currently distributing financial aid to low-income households, but lawmakers have just confirmed that residents in select states may have to pay taxes on these payments. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video for everything that you need to know. Also, friends, to say thank you for being part of this community. Every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Residents of Maine may now have to pay federal taxes on the winter energy relief payments that were sent out by the state earlier this year, after the Internal Revenue Service reversed its guidance. According to Maine Revenue Services, the IRS verbally informed them last week that the $450 payments issued from January through March 2023 to more than 880,000 Mainers will now be subject to federal taxes. It is a stark reversal to earlier guidance published by the IRS over the summer, which indicated that the checks would not be subject to federal income tax. The state has said that the IRS has so far refused to put this new decision into writing. The winter energy relief payment continues to be exempt from the state income tax. So Maine is not the only state to be impacted from the IRS's reversal. Minnesota also recently objected to the IRS's decision to apply federal tax to its relief program. The Kansas Department for Children and Families has also announced it's moving up the application date for those who need financial assistance keeping the heat on this winter season. Residents of Kansas can apply for the Low-Income Energy Assistance Program this week to get help for a longer period of time. The program helps Kansas residents restore and keep up with their heating of their homes. This can include financial assistance with electricity, natural gas, propane, and other fuels that people might use to heat their homes. In the past, applications opened up in January, limiting the amount of time for people to apply before the deadline. The application process will start at 5 p.m. Monday, December 18th. Also, friends, in the state of Maine, environmental regulators are set to decide next week whether the state should join others in adopting California-style regulations to drastically limit the sale of new gas-powered vehicles. Supporters say the proposal simply accelerates the adoption of electric vehicles, which is already happening, and that delaying a decision would push back the standards by a year. If approved, the standards would go into effect for the 2027 vehicles and would eventually require 82% of new vehicles sold to be considered zero emissions by the year 2032. A dozen U.S. states have already signed on to California's standards for boosting electric vehicle sales and reducing traditional vehicle sales to meet climate goals. Maine has had a long history of going beyond federal baseline standards to adopt stronger standards, similar to those put forth in California, the nation's most populous state. But some House Republican leaders say the plan is not feasible because of the state's geography and infrastructure. Most Mainers who spoke at a public hearing over the summer opposed the proposal and had a message for the board. That is, do not turn Maine into California. Supporters say drastic action is needed to combat climate change and that the proposal still allows some gas-powered vehicles to be sold. Heavier duty trucks, such as delivery vans, garbage trucks, school buses, and semi-tractors that weigh 8,500 pounds or more could remain on the market. Electric vehicles comprise 6% of new vehicle sales in the first quarter of this year. The proposed rules already have been adopted in Vermont, Oregon, Washington State, New York, Colorado, New Mexico, New Jersey, and Virginia. Most of these states adopted the full California standard that requires 100% zero-emission vehicles in 2035. But Maine's proposal stops short of that goal. Well, my awesome and amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Thank you so much, friends, for being part of this community. To say thank you, I will be announcing several winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these weekly giveaways.